In the Gospel this weekend, we have the story of the man born blind, and in one sense, maybe it's the saddest miracle story in the Bible. The unnamed blind man receives his sight, but it's a bittersweet experience. At a time when everyone should be rejoicing, he finds himself alone and alienated from his former life. Some people had already rejected him because they said he or his parents must have sinned in order for him to be blind. Jesus corrected that misunderstanding and said that's not true. But now, for the blind man, his whole life has changed. No longer can he support himself by begging for his daily bread. No longer will his parents take responsibility for him. No longer can he claim blindness as a reason for not doing anything. In the midst of all this confusing and isolating situation, he stands alone. The Gospel even says they drove him away from the temple. But it's then that Jesus seeks him out and asks him, "Do you believe in the Son of Man?" And he answers very clearly, "Yes, Lord, I believe." Today, hundreds of thousands of people are now sick with the COVID-19 virus around the world. Some are very sick and in the hospital, and many have died. There are also many others who maybe are not so sick, but are still feeling the negative effects of this pandemic. So many people today are isolated. So many people, especially the elderly, are home by themselves. The elderly are particularly vulnerable, and so they're encouraged, even required, to stay at home. Other people maybe have parents who are in a retirement home, and they can't even visit them because they don't want the virus to be introduced into the nursing home. Many young people are away from their friends at school, and so many others are away from their colleagues and friends at work. People are away from all of their normal socializing. Just as Jesus went looking for the blind man, we can go looking for these isolated people who may be very lonely at this time. We can make phone calls to them. We can send them messages. Maybe we can even send them those corny internet jokes that we all get. At least it lets them know that we're thinking about them. More seriously, we might think about something like saying the rosary online with a group. Every Saturday night, before we closed the World Vision, there was a group that had the rosary together before the World Vision Mass. Maybe they can get together online and say the rosary. Or maybe a group of people could have morning prayer together or evening prayer together. Whatever it is, whatever way we can find to be together, we can let people know that they're not alone, that we're with them, that we care. And our care can remind them of God's care for them and for all of us.